Alright boys, I had different plans for today, but since y'all wanted me to watch this video ASAP, that's what I'm gonna do. Now, in case you've been out of the loop, here's a quick recap. The past 24 hours have been absolutely harrowing for Ashes of Creation. Plenty of Steven Sharif DMs were leaked by a guy apparently called Jason, which was a former investor inside of Intrepid Studios, which I don't think we knew about. At least I haven't, or I didn't. And this guy right here, Nefas, that's his name. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can watch his channel and this video by yourself. He actually talked with him on stream. So the chat asked him plenty of questions and apparently gave some really spicy answers. We're gonna get a lot of information of what happened behind the scenes, and all of this allegedly, of course, assuming this guy is like legit. And I think this guy actually had some receipts because he actually showed some serious messages that seem to be real. And I heard he's also filing a lawsuit against Steven and stuff. So it seems to be true, but take it with a grain of salt, okay? Until we get 100% confirmation, I don't want to just throw out any blank statement. So this video is omega long. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes long. So we're gonna just keep it running continuously, and I'm gonna just talk and say what I think in the lull between like questions, and hopefully it would make this video way more palatable. So with that in mind, let's see what was going on with Steven Sharif.
I think we have a lot of questions in the chat from a lot of people. I think the first question is, do you own the IP? Like, do you know if anyone owns the IP?
So, correct. As of right now, Robert Dawson controls and owns the IP.
Okay.
I have what are called, so in order of succession, I was the first money in that had Steven sign pledge and security agreements with UCC filings. Okay. And that was done and I have the original UCC filings. Okay. And then after that, Commerce Bank came in. And then when Steven was running out of money and the company was about to get obliterated and go out of business because Steven fucking lied about any of his money going to the company. And I've since found out that it's not only, he originally told me that he put in, what is out there in the internet is that he put in 30 million. That's all horseshit. So anyone that believes that.
Oh my God. I literally said that it was so weird that Steven said he invested so much money into the company. If this is actually true, it's wild. It's actually wild.
Shit, what do they want to see? Bottom line is the bank accounts. Yeah, Steven put in no money. I have the QuickBooks documents that I have just received recently that pretty much literally shows Steven and John taking out millions of dollars out of the company and not putting any money into the company. That's a fact. So Steven can justify whatever bullshit he wants.
If you guys have any questions, ask in chat now.
The fact is that they took out millions and millions of dollars, probably the money that he paid back his brother with, because he paid his brother Tim back some money, okay? And then he paid back his mom some money. So that was probably from either my money that came in.
Dude, I don't understand. Are they all like family that just scams each other? Like everyone constantly involves the Sharif family. Now, I don't know anything about them, but it just sounds like they're all out there scamming one another. Well, what the hell is going on? It's so weird. It's so odd. What the hell is this? Are they doing like family battle royale? That's why we had Ashes of Creation Apocalypse? It was just like Steven Household Simulator? I don't get it.
Other loans from Commerce Bank. So pretty much here's what happened. Here's the order of monies that came in.
Yeah, a guy named Tom again. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right formula.
Okay, that was before my money. Then I put in another $1 million. Okay, then I had another option to put in another $1 million. I executed both of those. So that is now basically a total of $2 million from me, $2 million from Tom Alcazar. That was around the time that Kickstarter, I put my money in right around the time that he did the Kickstarter thing and brought in a lot more money from Kickstarter. It was right around the time that my money came in to him. So then after that, okay, he went through that money, my money, Tom's money, and the Kickstarter money. It was all gone. Then he needed more money. So then he came to me for another loan for another $2 million. I gave him $2 more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Then after that,
he gave up millions like candy.
We rolled that contract into a $5 million agreement, and I have that, and I can send that to you in an email. And basically that $5 million agreement was actually $5,138,000. Okay. So that was pretty much that agreement. Okay. So now I have 2 million from the original agreement, 5 million from that. Then after that, I had another buddy of mine put in $1 million. And in the video you did, that was $1 million from my friend Travis. Travis pretty much put in $1 million. And at that time, I had other businesses, as you call. I think I like the devil's lettuce, pretty much. I also got into another shit show with another fucktard that pretty much screwed me out of a lot of money in a cannabis company, which I'm still in litigation over currently. And I lost about 14 million in that deal. So, you know, pretty much I'm trying to get money back out of that deal. The money in Intrepid, I don't know if I'll ever see a penny, but I'll get down to the succession of the monies. So at that point,
now you won't see a dime from Intrepid, probably.
I'm into it for about $7.13 million. And then at this point, Stephen borrowed another $1 million from a friend of mine, okay, and $300,000 from me. This is during that video that I'm talking about, that I'm leveraged, and that was money that I had to pay my taxes. That's crazy.
Stephen took so much money for so many people, it seems like.
So my friend's money, it was a short-term loan from my friend Travis, and Travis wanted his money back and said, look, Stephen, you defaulted, pay him the money back or I'm going to sue you. And Stephen said, oh, well, I don't want my community seeing any lawsuits. If my community sees any lawsuits, we'll go out of business.
Getting suspicious,
said,
yeah.
Well, I don't give a shit, okay, about you not paying. I mean, I didn't say I don't give a shit about the community. I said, look, I care about the business and the community, and I don't want any bad press, just like you don't. But, we...
no, he doesn't care. He just showed a little bit of his true self there. And again, rich people don't care about you. Always remember that. I say this in almost every single video talking about, like, investors and streamers. Like, just remember that. Wealthy people do not care about you. It's that simple. Just literally remember that.
You got to pay him back the money. So none of Steven's friends or family or anybody that he fucking knew had any money. Nobody had any money. This is the whole problem with this whole company. Okay. He was able to since get a few people, but it came in after this point. So what happened is, at this point, is that I had to sell crypto or whatever it was, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 that I transferred to my friend Travis to buy him out of the $1 million, and I assumed the note. I have that paperwork that I can turn over to you as well.
Sure.
So at that point,
so it sounds like he has receipts.
Pretty much, I had.
And it just goes to show you, like, how shady individuals were involved inside of Intrepid Studios, and you didn't know anything about this, right? Like, you had crypto bros and, like, vibe coders involved. It's so weird. It's so off to me, and we didn't know anything about this. We weren't made aware. We thought Steven genuinely fully funded this game on itself. Like, by itself, sorry. It's so crazy. Just discovering it after all this time, it's so humiliating, man. Like, it really is. It's just a spit in the face of the community. It's just horrible. Man, we MMORPG players will never catch a break. Never.
Situation where...
Yeah, by the way, feel free to speed up this video. The reason I don't speed it up is because my brain is too slow to comprehend.
The $300,000, the $1 million,
I just missed up
for 8.3.
Okay.
And then originally we had a revolving line of credit deal where pretty much that was the thing that you saw was the 15%. The other 15% pretty much was where I'm blowing up at him about basically telling him what a piece of shit he is and why I'm into this deal for so much money. So then I gave him the other basically in chunks and tranches. And at this time, I'm going through my own financial crisis and my own financial desperations of money's in and money's out. And when you play for the fences in life and try to make money, shit happens. So anyway, that's kind of what happened. And then I'm up to 10.3 million. Okay. And then pretty much about a year and a few months ago, Rob Dawson called me up. Now, at this point in time, I'm done spending money on him. So I'm out of the wheelhouse of spending money. Except I did something foolish, which I regret doing.
Okay.
And that was recently where Steve had a first position mortgage on his home.
Mhm.
Okay. And it was leveraged between himself and Commerce Bank and another party that he borrowed money from. And the person that was in the first position was about to foreclose on it. So me and Rob Dawson, pretty much, Rob came to me and said, I need help. Okay. And Rob's worth a shit ton of money. But Bob was like, look, so this is literally, so I'm done with Steven mentally, emotionally. And there's a lot of other shit that happened in between then. But Steven basically was just lying to everybody for the whole time. I mean, just lying and lying and lying.
So after you basically kind of bowed out, even though with money owed, Robert Dawson was the one who basically kept the engine running.
Correct.
So now he owns the IP. Do you know what he's going to do with the IP? Has he told the investors?
I don't really know at all.
Okay, have you asked him or not yet?
I have talked to him about it, and literally we've had, hold on one second, my wife's calling me another line. We've had basically
This guy.
2 calls and one. Hey, I'm on a phone call with Casper, the guy that's going over stuff, and he's on a live stream, and I'm in my car. So
Oh wait, he's actually talking to his wife.
but I'm on a phone call.
Oh my god, dude, how these people get wealthy? It's crazy. How am I dirt poor? What is that? Life ain't fair,
Sorry,
bro.
Casper.
No, you're okay. You don't have to
Life
call.
ain't fair. It's
anyway,
crazy.
yeah. So I don't know what Rob's going to do with the IP.
Okay.
Rob's in charge. Rob's in charge of that. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay, so when would be the next time you and the other investors, I guess, get a meeting with him? Or
Here's hold on one second.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hang up right now and call you from my other number. This battery's about to go dead. Okay.
Okay, sure thing.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, well, that was fucking fast. That was
Wow,
fast.
that's what instantly.
Hey there.
Hey there. Hi,
Yep.
okay, good. Okay, so as of right now,
Damn, he was quick on that.
it's really I know Rob Rob basically did not want to bury the company or close on the company. It just was a point where he was into this for between his own personal capital, about $80 million. And Steven's been lying to him and to me about, as you can see in some of the text, the launch dates always changed. And look, and I respect the gamers, even though, as you pointed out, I'm more of a Pac-Man gamer, but that's just because I'm old as fuck. Much. At 57 years old, and I've made a lot of money, and I've spent a lot of money, and I've been stupid, and stupid is as stupid does, and I've been stupid. So,
Sure.
The only thing that I would say is that both Rob and I, and yes, we expected the business to work. The problem is that Steven never allowed anybody else to get involved in the intertwinings of the company. He literally would always, and he would threaten me and Rob, like, if I quit, this thing is nothing. If I go away, this thing is over. I mean, this happened not just once, not twice.
Every single time I hear something about Steven's personality, I cringe. Bro, he seems like such a man-child. It's crazy. From what I heard about him, that seems to be true. It's so insane. Like, constantly glazing himself. Like, all of this self-glorification. This man has delusions of grandeur. I don't know who he thinks he is. Like, yeah, okay, you may have scammed a few people in the past with, like, some miracle juice, right? Allegedly, of course. But, dog, you ain't nothing. Like, what are you on about? Such a weird, psychotic behavior, man. I hate that. Take this all, in my opinion, right? I have to add that.
Remember, like 5 or 6 different times.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm chasing anybody.
The reality of like where it's at now, I really don't know. And I've told Rob, as God is my witness, I feel bad, and I brought him to Steven, and I convinced Rob. I convinced Rob to put in his first $10 million. Okay, and I'll take responsibility where I feel bad for that. All the money after that, Steven kept on going back to Rob and back to Rob and back to Rob. And so pretty much Steven would do these equity deals where pretty much where the controlling interest of the company after 2022 shifted not away from Stephen. It wasn't until literally up until 2024 that Stephen had no more controlling interest in the company. And a board wasn't formed when Stephen's out there saying about the board this, the board that, the board this.
Wait.
Okay, I was supposed to have a board seat. I was supposed to be pretty much involved in any company major decisions. Do you know how many board meetings I've been to? 0. Do you know how many board meetings he's ever fucking called? 0. The guy couldn't fucking run a company for his fucking toothpick brain.
That's crazy.
He's a fucking retard. Okay?
That's
The only thing that guy's good at is bullshitting people. And he might be a good creative director. He might be a good gamer.
No,
but everything else is full of shit.
He's not. No, he's not. He couldn't stand his own. Like, clearly he did not know what he was doing. So, according to what he said, if I understood it correctly, Steven wasn't in control of the company in 2024. That's 2 years ago, man. How weren't we made aware of that? We thought he was running all of it. That there were no evil overlords on top of us. But no, it was all lies. And guys, oh my god, I'm so glad that I said this so many times in every single one of my videos before Ashes blew up. Like, I told you that they were obfuscating us. Like, they were doing something and they were hiding something from us that we did not meant to see. And now we can all see that I was right. Yeah, I'm gonna take that W. I deserve that. I earned that. I never take, you know what? I never self-proclaim a W, right? I'll never take a self-proclaimed W, but this time, I will.
So when you don't have to spend any of your own money, like 0, and you're just on everyone else's fucking tit, sucking everyone's tit, okay, like he was, spending everyone's money. I mean, I know people.
On what?
My friend Tom is in his 70s. Him and his wife, they have financial problems. They have tons of problems. And you know what he did? That's their life savings. I'll be okay. I'm a survivor. I have money, other investments, and I can crush $12.5 million. I'll have some tax losses for the next 5 to 6, 7, 8 years. But at the end of the day,
damn it.
there are other
That's
people
crazy.
that can't afford, that put money into this. Okay?
Yep.
So, and by the way, not only did he not put any money in, but then about a little under 2 years ago, 20 months ago, he pretty much sat there and told, me and Rob Dawson that he put in an extra $4 million. Okay. Which he never did. What he did is he borrowed money from another guy, had that guy send the money to his personal bank account, and then sent the money from his personal bank account to the company.
Some things never change, do they? Wow. Isn't that the classic pyramid scheme? Isn't that just it, by definition? That's crazy. He actually did it again, boys. He's on a roll. You know what? 2 for 2. It's fine. What's going to be number 3? I wonder.
And that guy's name is Aaron. Okay?
Okay.
So there's all the money that Steven has proclaimed to put into the company. I mean, maybe, if I could ever find it, maybe $500,000. Is that really his money? Or he might have put it in, but then he sucked it out with all the money that he pulled out of the company.
Yeah, so it doesn't
Him and
matter,
John
essentially.
Paid themselves, okay,
Okay.
$50,000 a month.
$50,000, not $500,000. Oh, sorry, $500,000 a year.
No wonder development costs were so high. It was almost 1 million per month or so, right? Damn. He really needed that yacht, didn't he? That's crazy.
Or $50,000 a month.
$50,000 a month.
Self-employed.
$500,000 a year.
Okay. And
to run his company.
And you had
a startup.
You had the records to prove that?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, you got the QuickBooks now and everything? Oh, no.
Yeah, I do. I have the QuickBooks file, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going through them as we speak.
And so basically, if they were embezzling $500,000 a year, where was the rest of the money for Intrepid going? Or do you
exactly.
not know?
That's what I asked.
Are you having forensics go through accounting?
It's very difficult because here's the problem.
Okay.
And I have emails that I will forward you that you can see that I asked him for books and records, and he would deflect. And I said, this isn't fucking rocket science. It's a simple QuickBooks file.
Dog, isn't that a crime? Whenever an investor asks for like books and keepings, and you constantly deflect them and just try to lie and hide away the truth, isn't that a crime? Couldn't he be charged for it? No way. Now, yeah, I mean, that's gotta be a crime, man. Like, no way he can get away with it. If this guy is speaking the truth and he actually has all the receipts, I think Steven is cooked. I think he's cooked in court. Like, this guy gonna roast him 100%. If he actually has the receipts, like he's saying, and this is actually true, I don't see how we can get away with this. I honestly don't.
Have your accountant send it to me. And in
That's
9
fraud.
years, or almost 9 years of doing business with the fucker, not one time have I received any QuickBooks. It wasn't until 3 days ago that I got them, and I got them from Rob's guy, Ryan Ogden, who's been going through the books for the last 6 to 9 months.
So even after the Yaya lawsuit
The
for the
Necronomicon.
writ of mandate to access to records, you still didn't get it.
No, I never got it. And the only reason why I dropped the lawsuit is because Steven came to me and literally said, and Rob said, and Rob was funding the company, and Steven said, look, if you don't drop this lawsuit, I said, look, you pushed me to this point. So it's public record now because you wouldn't turn over the information. So I dropped it because I was going to subpoena more documents. So,
Okay.
and I didn't.
Interesting.
So
interesting. Yeah, I think
mean,
that gave a lot of insight for a lot of people.
yeah, that was a
Do you
ton
know
of information.
what's happening with the merchandise? I don't know if you've caught up on today's
Merchandise?
lawsuit.
I have no idea about any of
Are you aware of
merchandise.
are you aware of today's new lawsuit by TFE Games in Nevada and the employees against Steven?
Oh yeah, we watched
that's
that.
probably one of the investors of the investor groups. I forgot which one of the person's names that's attached to TFE Games, but they have a written contract for a convertible note that
I see.
it came in after my money, but yeah, everyone's gonna fucking sue Steven. I mean, like, he's a lying cockroach. I mean, what else do you fucking expect? I mean, the biggest problem that I got with the piece of shit, and the reason why I reached out to you, which, I mean, even though I am in the public world, I mean, I'm not really. I mean, outside of lawsuits and a few videos, that you can search from me, I really am not a public figure as much as the companies that I built I should be. But I reached out to you because I felt that your content was very fair. You weren't pretty much completely throwing Steven under the bus, but you had a lot of questions. And when I went through about 15 to 20 people on the internet, I found yours, and I reached out to you, and you responded, and that's why I said, hey, we got on the phone and we had a great conversation.
Yeah, he looked for someone with credibility.
I respect the work that you did.
That's understandable,
and
obviously.
the way you delivered it and how you presented it was great. I think you did an amazing job. So there's more information that's going to come out, but yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to realize how many people he fucked over. I mean, it's bad. Okay. So the TFE Games people, I think that's the group that put in $5 million. So
$5 million.
Yeah, I don't know what does their lawsuit say. Is it one? I don't remember. I can look it up when I get to the house.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Feel free to forward more of the emails or documents. Accounting. Someone asked you. There's a lot of questions. Why didn't you cut your losses earlier and walk away from it?
Well,
that's a good question.
That's a very good question because I said about 10 minutes ago, I was fucking stupid. So here's
and this is what I always say, like, wealth doesn't necessarily means you're smart, okay? So whenever you see a rich person, it doesn't automatically means he has like 200 IQ. Like, not at all. I've met a lot of rich people in my lifetime of living, of like 27 years. And yeah, let's say they weren't the brightest, but some of them were, of course, obviously super smart, like, but literally a lot of them weren't. So yeah, you'd be surprised if you actually hung around these type of people, you'd know.
Here's the problem. Look, I'm not going to blame Steven.
Okay.
Outside of look, here's what I'll say.
Okay.
When I sue Steven Sharif, he's going to be fucking sued by everybody. So I'm going to sue him, and I'm going to explain.
Yeah, why not join the party?
Him to your people, but I was lied to. Okay.
Okay.
So the definition of fraud, okay, and a fraud lawsuit is I was manipulated and lied based upon things I was told by him, by his mother, and by John. Lied. Okay. Like they have all this money invested in the company. It's the opposite. They took out money out of the company with nothing invested that I could find.
Okay.
So So why did I stay in at that time? I believed he had all that money invested in the company. So I believed in him that he was losing all of his. Originally, he told me he had $25-30 million into the company. Then he came back in an email and said he only had $9.5 million. I'll get you that email or whenever. What he said, well, I have $9.5 million invested.
So he lowered it.
He lowered it from 30 million to 9.5.
Okay.
Well, okay. So the entire world of Vera and all these people and fans think Steven must be fucking loaded. Where do you fucking make all his money? Has anyone ever asked on any of your, Discords, Reddits, whatever the fuck, emails?
People thought he was like this real estate king, right? And we all knew about his past too. People just chose to deliberately shut an eye because they wanted to look away and they really wanted to believe this game is going to be popular and succeed. So they were willing to just shut their eyes and overlook Steven past, even though so many people spoke about it.
YouTube videos. Has anyone ever said to Steven, where do you make all your money to invest in this company? No one's asked him.
No, okay? we asked. We knew.
And
everyone
he would deflect it even if he was, but no one asked him that.
They chose to ignore it.
Where did all the money come from?
I think people looked into it and saw that he had previous MLM history with his mother in Zango, and that's where I think a lot of people figured he got his wealth from.
Yeah, that's all bullshit. I mean, and that's the one thing I hate about multi-level marketing. Everyone's full of shit in the industry. Oh, I made $350,000 a month. Yeah, they might have made that 1 month, and then that company went out of business. So, I mean, it's like, okay.
Hey, technically they weren't lying.
All right.
They made this much money.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the answer that the internet scrounged up, and they figured, I mean, hey, he's live streaming from a California mansion. He's got to be loaded, right?
Yeah.
That was basically the reasoning. And he did claim, I think later he got some money from real estate investments.
Yeah,
and that circulated. That's all bullshit too.
Yeah, what? He doesn't own anything. He never owned a piece of property until like him and John bought that piece of property, with probably a down payment from, they were renting it when I met them, but I didn't know that because I was fucking stupid and didn't pull a property report. So I didn't know. I've been down to that place. It's a bigger place than I live in, fucking hell. So yeah,
someone
bullshit story.
Another person's worried about you asking, is it safe for you to say all this on in public on live stream?
I don't know. If you don't know me, I don't give a shit what I say. What slander? Slander is basically anything you're saying to hurt someone. Look, I've sued people for slander. Go look my name up, Jason Karamanis, and figure out lawsuit. Okay. So it's pretty much,
Damn, this guy's off his rocker, man.
There's nothing I'm saying
He's fearless.
that is slanderous or libel about Steven. He's a pathological nutcase liar. And guess what? You're going to see numerous lawsuits come out against him.
You're next.
Okay? For fraud, for whatever else. So, it's all bullshit. So the question is that, okay, am I scared of what I'm saying? Would I have gone through and sent you 380 pages of text messages, Casper? No, I would not have sent one fucking page of anything. Would I have been scared to show you the cap table that you put in your video? No.
Oh, I didn't forget.
All this is going to come out in litigation. Okay? So Steven's like, oh, I'm going to sue people. On what grounds? You dumb fuck idiot. What the fuck? Go fuck yourself. Like, who the fuck do you think you're going to sue people? Yeah, what? You're going to sue the board? Oh, I'm sorry. Rob Dawson has probably, $80 million worth of signed agreements, okay, of you, okay, taking his money. Rob wrote you checks. I wrote you checks, okay? The TFD Games Company wrote you checks, okay? Tom wrote you checks. Aaron wrote you checks. Everyone wrote him checks. Has he given anybody any return on investment? Has he done anything? What's he going to say? It's full of shit.
Yeah.
So no, there's nothing that I'm scared to say because all of it's true and documented.
Okay. Someone asked, do you ever get any of the money? I think you already answered that earlier. If you got any of your money back?
No. How would I get any of my money back? The thing that pissed me off was the $300,000 that I gave him in August of 2000.
Right. The one where you got mad at him for not returning fast enough.
Yeah, because it's $300,000. At that point, I've already given him. Okay, and he was telling me all this shit about, Tencent, I Dream Sky, and they're going to give us a $60 million contract, and blah 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 blah. Okay, This is before he borrowed money. Okay. And by the way, there's going to be a lawsuit by Commerce Bank at some point in time for fraud against Stephen too, because he lied about the revenues of the company. There were no
Ooh,
revenues.
he lied to
He
the
took
bank.
all the loans and booked them on his federal tax return as basically as income. That's a fucking
Oh,
federal
dude,
crime.
that's
You fucking dumb
insane.
fuck.
Do you have the records
That's
for that? Where you,
insane.
100%.
okay. Definitely. We're
If
definitely have
that's
to
real,
talk
he's
later
he's
about
done for.
and go through these files too. I
Listen,
guess.
you can mess with regular poor people, but you can never mess with a government. You can never mess with the banks. He's done. If this is actually real, he's done.
I'll subpoena Commerce Bank to get him because he had to turn over financials to Commerce Bank. Never turned them over to me. Okay. But he told me at one point that, oh yeah, I had to book those as revenue to the company. I said, Stephen, you fucking, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I know, but I needed the money.
There's a lot of confusion in the chat over the house, the Californian house that keeps popping up.
Oh yeah, we heard about that.
So the California house, when
mhm.
Stephen bought it, I don't know how he got the down payment. I'm assuming between him and John milking money out of the fucking company in some capacity, because that's the only fucking money they were making was their salaries. So they were paying themselves a god amount. And John never did shit for the company. He was the CFO, the chief financial officer. That was his title. You know what he ever did for the goddamn company?
Come to
Excuse me,
meetings.
God. But you know what he ever did for the fucking company?
Oh, he's
Nothing.
about to say. Oh.
Okay. He didn't put one. They never called one board meeting. So if I was an equity shareholder since 2019, you should have called a board meeting. Did you ever call one? No. You ever call a shareholders meeting?
He was
No.
the board.
Did you ever do anything of that nature? No. Even when Rob came in, okay, Stephen wouldn't give Rob access or Ryan access to anything ever. And he would threaten, you know what? I'm going to quit. I'm going to leave. You know what? This company's nothing without me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go look up NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. It describes him as a T. He's the most narcissistic fuck tool I've ever met in my entire life.
And I said it, and I said it so many times, but just by looking at Steven's behavior, I knew that, dog. Like, I knew that. It's crazy. I mean, he never took criticism. Never. And I always said that it was weird because if he actually looked out to build his game with a community, you should take the negative criticism. And you should take all the negative feedback and build upon it. And actually take it into consideration because it's important. At the end of the day, we all want to build a game together, right? An MMO that we can all enjoy and love. But no, he never responded to anything but light criticism and praises. And I told you, this was the weirdest narcissistic behavior I've ever seen in my entire life. I knew it. And now we get it confirmed.
It's a piece of shit.
Finally.
So,
I feel so vindicated right now.
Goes,
Mm-hmm.
whenever they bought it, okay, whatever year they bought it,
Sure.
I forgot what year it is, okay, and they put up a down payment. The original owner that they were renting the house from, which I didn't know at the time, I thought he owned the house because I thought he was a big fucking baller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So pretty much he bought the house from the landlord. The landlord had the first trust deed loan on the property. Okay. And over time it came due in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Stephen would kick the can down the road. Okay. On the balloon payment because he couldn't pretty much get the thing refinanced. Now, why couldn't he get it refinanced? Because when he did the deal with Commerce Bank, okay, wouldn't do the deal without him, okay, and John putting up the house as collateral. So Commerce Bank has the second on the property.
Right.
So then at this point in time, he doesn't make the balloon payment for the 4 point whatever million that he owes on the property. So the first is foreclosing on the house. They started foreclosure procedures. So then Stephen, okay, and Rob's so into this at this point in time, Rob's probably into this for 50 million. So Rob calls me up and says, look, I need $2 more million, you know, to help, you know, pay for Stephen's house to save it. Okay, so he doesn't lose his mind. Because if Stephen loses his house, he's just going to fucking his relationship with John will be over. They'll get divorced, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
You're next.
So
That's such a weird
time,
loop. I mean, why would you take care of one person so badly because of if he's gone, the project is gonna go bad, and then all your money is essentially lost. I mean, just literally think about it. The man is constantly going off the rails. What's stopping him from doing it one more time? You constantly helping him and uplifting him to a point where he's just, oh, okay, I'm good, I'm going in a straight line right now, is not going to hold. He's just gonna do it one more time. It's so obvious. You can't feed the delusion. It would never work, and that's why I say, never capitulate to the demands of weirdos and delusional people. Like, I always say that.
Okay, me and Rob, and I told Rob, I don't want to put out any more money. He goes, it's secured with interest.
Okay.
You know, not anything egregious. At 10% per year, which is normal at that time to go get a loan. Okay.
Okay.
So it was secured as the first trustee. So me and Rob personally each put up $2 million on to take out the first. That was about a little over a year and a few months ago. Okay.
So you helped him with his house, basically
Yes.
being prevented from foreclosure.
On top of the 10.3 million, I pretty much helped him with $2 million so he would save his house from losing it and going into foreclosure. While he's telling everyone in the world of fucking Farah that he's a baller and a fucking multi-millionaire.
It was all about keeping face.
Fucking shit.
All of it.
Fucking cocksucker.
So I get
okay.
One person.
So
sorry, go on. Go on. No, please go ahead.
So at this point in time, so Rob's a big investor. He has investments in institutional banks. One of the banks that he dealt with was able to work out a refi and take out the first position on the property.
Mm-hmm.
And this gets into the real reason why the demise happened. Okay? So
Okay.
I'll explain. So Rob's bank did that, and then Rob pretty much came to me and said, hey, I need help. Doesn't matter that he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I need help because, you know, he's pulling down stuff on margin calls, okay, to withdraw cash, which is basically you're borrowing against your margin on your stocks to pull cash out to go fund the company. So Rob is going, you know, Rob is pulling his hair out,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And Rob is basically at this point in time, Rob is like, hey, Jason, we got the $2 million back because I got the first covered by the bank, and the bank is a different bank, okay? Not Commerce Bank, a different bank. Took out the first. That's fine. But then what happens is that at this point in time, Rob says, Jason, I need your help to put in that $2 million into the company.
Okay.
And I bitched, complained, and that's another fucking mistake. But at the time that it happened, Rob was into the deal at this point for probably close to $60 million,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit less, maybe 58, 57. So at this point in time, and I'm the one who got Rob to the dance. I got Rob, and I introduced Rob and Steven together
Mm-hmm.
in Vegas.
Do you feel bad about that?
Really, 100,000%.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have walked away, lost all my money. No disrespect to any of the company, the gamers, and any of the people, the employees. But I wish I would have walked away and told Steven to go pound sand and fuck himself. But again, look, I'm not going to lie to people. I also was greedy too. I didn't want to lose my money.
Right.
Okay.
Investment.
And I'm thinking, okay, and Rob thought it was a great company. Rob had his whole investor group of like 3 or 4 or 5 different people looked at the deal and realized that,
even they believed in
he said,
it.
yeah, what Steven was good at is selling the KPIs and the metrics of the game,
Mm-hmm.
how well it's doing with all the users, which it was. I'm not,
it was very popular. Yeah.
Well.
It was the most hyped game ever. It was literally it. It just raises the question, why the hell didn't you take all of that money and actually made a good game? I mean, at some point, even if you wanted to siphon funds from the company, you could have just made more than triple the amount you initially had if you just made a good game. If you actually listened to the community and made a really good MMORPG, you would have been 10 times more successful by now. So it's just so stupid to me that he did all of that crap just to gain essentially nothing except troubles. It's so weird. Like, if you gave me all of that money, I would have built you the perfect MMORPG. You know what? Without knowing anything about coding, I would have just hired the right talent. I mean, with 50 million, you can hire Chris Metzen to build you an MMO. And that's it, okay? You can just do that, and this man would actually craft you the best MMO out there. But no, you took it upon yourself because you were a hardcore MMORPG cringe billionaire gamer, self-proclaimed, of course. And yeah, I guess you were just too much. Let's say it was way above your pay grade, which is saying a lot because his pay grade was, holy, it was way too high.
You know, but I mean, yeah, I mean, after $140 million, I mean, it's not 109, by the way, 115.
He flew
it's
close to the
140.
100%.
Between all the money that came in from Kickstarter, that's not included in that figure.
Right.
Okay. The money from Commerce Bank, between Kickstarter, Commerce Bank, and the PPL monies, that's $13 million right there. So that's at 123. Plus, there was also revenues that came into the company over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Plus other
speed
small business loans.
Otherwise, we're never going to end this.
So the
if I miss something, I'm sorry.
About $140 million has been gone through.
That is astronomical. We have a same question from the chat. Did you ever get your iced tea at Denny's, Jason?
Actually, it's funny. No, I'm not a big Denny's fan. But,
okay.
You know, but do I get my iced tea at Denny's? I mean, I don't know. I would. My wife wants to go to Denny's.
Question?
The ending final punchline. Okay, so here's what happened. So Steven, okay, so here's what happened. Rob literally went to Steven. This is the thing that Steven calls the board made a decision.
I see.
What it was is Rob couldn't take it anymore.
Okay.
Rob was like already fucking fed up 6 months ago. Steven lied. Steven said we're going to launch in 2022. No, 2023. No, 2024. No, 2025. So you have to understand this from this perspective.
Sure.
Okay. Not only.
Oh no, we understand it. We understand it.
The gamers are all pissed because it's like, why are we waiting so long for this fucking thing? Okay. Well, the investors are like, we're losing $2 to $3 million every month. The differential between, your OPEX, your operating expenses, the
bleeding money
between your income. So let's say that he was selling picks, shovels, widgets, whatever you want to call it, and the revenues, $150,000, $200,000 a month from the online people buying stuff.
Right.
Well, the company costs $2.5 million a month for rent of the building, insurance for all the employees, salaries.
They actually paid the employees.
What happened was because the
expenses were too much.
Was not astronomical. If it was moderately successful, I think they did like $4 million that month in revenue, which pretty much, Steam took their percentage, and then whatever
they made $4 million off of the Steam launch. What did I hear this correctly?
The leftover goes to the company Intrepid Studios.
Okay.
So what happened is but they were holding it till January, so almost like a month later for any chargebacks or whatever. So what happened was that Rob, because there was not a whole lot of money, Rob was like, look, we can't go out and raise any money because the way the money came into the company is all debt. So the company is roughly $120 million in debt.
Okay.
Wow.
So with $120 million of debt, the interest alone.
Right.
Okay.
Because he was fine with any interest rate, it seemed like, from your text messages.
He told me every interest rate possible known to mankind. He didn't care because he just wanted to suck more money out of me.
Sure.
Now, at the time, I kept on thinking Steven has assets. I thought, look, I'm stupid. I never checked on the home address. I never pulled a property profile. Shame on me. I never asked Steven for his tax returns. Shame on me. I never asked Steven to see his personal bank accounts. Shame on me. I'm a dumb fuck for not listening to myself. Okay. I was like, oh, he's a great guy. He's my friend's son. Why would they lie to me? So at this point, what happens is that Rob says, look, we can't continue like this. We need another. Look, I don't have any more money. I'm borrowing against my stock accounts on margin to fund the company. I can't take it anymore. So we're going to go do a foreclosure on the assets. So I signed, to allow Rob to do that. I signed an agreement with Rob and gave Rob my first position to go sign to do that. So Rob literally, so Steven wants to claim the board fucked this up. No, here's the real story. What happened during this process? Rob is pissed off at Steven for you don't know the stress levels that Steven has done to me and Rob.
No, I felt it when I was
we can get it. We have a rough estimate.
Fucking Steven's a cockroach.
Okay.
So Steven pretty much would always, like, oh, I need this, I need that. I mean, would always call us when he needs money. And so Rob finally, it was an act of Congress for us to get anything out of Steven. Okay. All the time. It was always, he's a control freak, narcissistic, fuck what. So, from my perspective, he got greedy and stupid.
Okay.
At this point in time, from 7 months ago or 8 months ago, Steven's been diluted down where he owns less than I do, and I only owned of the company with all the dilutions from Rob and the other group. I only owned around 11%.
Yeah, I think
Steven only owned 8% or something. Or
I think it's at 4%
like
on the sheet.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why he was given that 4% is because he said that he put $4 million of his own of additional money into the company. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have gotten that. And that's a lie, because Aaron put that $4 million in. It didn't come from Steven. And Aaron's going to have to sue Steven and Tim, because Tim, the brother, signed some agreements with Aaron. So then it goes one step further. So what happened is there was a call between everybody. I'm talking about and I never knew any of these people. I didn't know Aaron. I didn't know this girl Teresa. I didn't know all these people that put in money in the company. I never knew any of them, except the only one I knew was a guy named Tom.
Right.
Okay. So what ended up happening is that we all get on a call. This is about a month ago now. And we said, look, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to fund the company, but we need to lay off employees. We're going to foreclose. We were planning on foreclosing on foreclosing on the assets, okay, and maintaining and keeping. This is what fucking pisses me off, where everyone's going to fucking sue that cockroach and John. Okay? You're going to sue them, because this is the key thing that set the tailspin of everything into the toilet. Right here, what I'm about to say is the most important thing.
Okay.
So Rob's plan, was very simple.
Okay.
We're not going to go public about this. We're not going to talk about it. It was an internal thing with all of the creditors. People that were like putting millions of dollars that were owed based on the interest in their money. They put in with the interest. Some guy put in $5 million in 2021 with interest alone, and scaling that up and compounding and everything. Okay, that loan's at $9 or $10 million. So you got $109 million of debt. Okay, it's all debt. Okay, and people took warrants and options, and Rob was smart, to do that, because he pushed Steven into a corner at some point in time, because Steven was out of control. So at this point in time, in January, they did the launch in December. Okay. There wasn't a ton of revenue. It was like close to $4 or $5 million. Okay. The Steam took their percentage, and then they were going to send Intrepid. Okay. I think $3.7 million. That was the amount that was coming to Intrepid. So
from Valve, from Steam,
from Steam. We all knew this, and so the triggering point is that Steven was trying to negotiate with Rob. Wrong, dumb fuck move to do. And Steven was going, I want equity. And Rob's like, I'll give you an earnout, but I'm not going to give you equity in the entity that's going to control the assets. So Rob said, hey, look, Rob could foreclose on everybody and fuck everybody. He didn't do that. You know what Rob did? He got on a call with all the investors, and he said, hey, look, I don't mean to be a bummer to all of you, but you're going to have a choice to make. We will try to make all of you whole. Remember, we will try to make all of you whole. But as of right now, this is our only option to try to continue making the company grow. Okay.
So you wanted to keep the product. You wanted to keep the MMO going.
1,000% We got $100 million plus.
I just want to clarify that for people, because they were like, "Where's the money? Where did all that go?"
100%.
Okay. So is that indicative of Robert Dawson maybe trying to continue it, or nah?
We all agreed. So here's the punchline. Okay. Rob said, because Rob's kind of controlling this. Rob said, look, whatever you've put in, there's one person that's put in $435,000, and and Rob that's up to with his group and his companies
about 90,
80 million, and then 10 million of his friends. Smokey 10 a million, whatever. Ryan $1.5 million, whatever. So we all get on the phone. We're all butthurt. We're all pissed off. Okay. And Rob and Aaron and Teresa say, this is the plan. In order for you to keep your current equity positions and or get back some of the money that first, where it's at, everyone's going to have to come up with 25% of what they've already put in.
Sure.
Okay? And almost everybody agreed. I think there were some people that are just broke.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford it. But I agreed to do it. Rob agreed to do it. So you do the math and you figure out that pretty much that you got $109 million or so. Okay, multiply that times 25%. We all agreed, minus a little bit of money. So let's say basically everyone agreed, and we were all putting in more money. I agreed to put in 25% of $12.5 million. Okay, go figure that number out. Okay, I didn't want to. I don't want to put another diamond, but I was willing to do it. This is the cockroach fucking Steven. Okay, he's a piece of fucking shit. This is what he did to piss everybody off.
Okay.
Which is why the company got fucked.
Okay.
Because what he did at this point in time is he went behind Rob's back. Okay.
Right.
Because Rob said, look, Steven, we got to pay all this money back to these investors. Okay.
Right.
And we'll give you an earnout as the creative director. Okay. But we're not going to put you on the cap table as an owner. Okay, you can go out there in the public domain. Okay, so what Steven says is, no, I want my equity now. And Rob says, I'm not willing to do that. I'll give you a deal based upon the company earning money, not basically for you doing shit. The company has to make money. So then Steven threatens Rob and says, you know what? I'm not going to do it unless you give me ownership. And Rob just put his foot down and said, fuck no, I'm not giving you ownership.
Bro, that's crazy. After playing with so many people's money, he still demanded equity inside of the company that he lost control over. That is nutball giga galaxy tier behavior. That is not even narcissistic, man. I don't even know what's that. I honestly don't think anyone has ever reached this level of like childness and like what the hell is what am I hearing? What in God's name is going on with this man? How you know what? I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. He actually managed to hit all of that all of these years, and you couldn't even see it. I mean, even back in the day when you watch the old Ashes of Creation videos, now you kind of can see that, hey, it was all too good to be true. But if you saw it back in the day, like I had, it looked fine. He didn't look shady. He didn't look scammy at all, like scummy, right? No, it was cool. He was like the cool MMO gamer that, somehow was a millionaire. We didn't really question it. We just kind of went along with emotions. And yeah, now to hear that that's how he behaved behind the scenes, that's crazy. But to be fair, I think we all saw the cracks in like the Discord server where we seen certain responses from him that clearly showed his like true face. Banning certain people who went against him and the way he treated Narc. I mean, that was a given pretty much. So we've kind of seen this during the years, and yeah, now we know what happened. It's insane. You know what I mean? If that's true, of course, I have to say it like every single time.
You can be the creative director and you can run the business as is. We're going to be, we're going to be a skeleton crew. We're going to probably lose about 60 to 70% of the people, but
they're going to get
enough money for all the investor group to fund the company. So then while we're in process of all doing this, it's not like you do this. There's contracts that have to be read, agreements that have to be signed. A new company is being formed. Okay.
Right.
And while this
can you give me the battery charger for my backpack?
Steven decides to pretty much pull the ripcord and say to Rob, I'm resigning. Sorry. Right about 5 days before the shit hits the fan. Now where the fuck you part is Steven has money in escrow, okay? Because him and John sold the house, okay? That money does not get released because Commerce Bank, okay, has a second position on the house. There. Well, Jesus. Commerce Bank's money went into Intrepid.
He has a nasty
setup. So what happened
setup.
is that Steven, upon his fucking betrayal and exit, and it's a fucking betrayal, okay? To all of the community, of anyone that ever played the game, to all the investors and all the employees. That motherfucker literally sat there, okay, and literally had Commerce Bank send a letter to Steam and saying that money is theirs. At Steven's request. Okay. We weren't planning on fucking Commerce Bank, okay?
Right.
But Steven just fucked them because what he did was the money that Steam was holding,
they froze it.
Was going to pay all the payroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
February
the $4 million.
1st. So Steven took $3.7 million for his own greedy motherfucking son of a bitch, cockroach fuckery
What?
asshole.
Okay.
That's
nuts.
And
basically what he did is he fucked everybody over.
Oh my god, he messed up the only chance. He literally sabotaged the only chance of the company actually being revived. Yo, that is insane. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. That's actually like the top moment of this video so far. It's crazy. He actually told Steam like the money was his. Yo. Dude, that is nuts. If any of this is true, like he's done. Like, yeah, there's no way he's getting out of it.
Sat there and literally stole, okay,
crazy
the company and pushed it to go out of business. Literally because he's a narcissistic son of a bitch. Because what he did is he took basically he had Commerce Bank send a letter stating that money was Commerce's bank's. So Commerce Bank would get that money and pay off the second, releasing about 1.5 or 1.6 money being held in an escrow account by Commerce Bank.
And by the way, take into consideration that the money that was taken was supposed to go to developers, to severance packages and all that stuff, I believe, if I'm not mistaken about that. So not only did he probably gain that money all for himself, he also potentially, again, sorry for using all of these words, I have to, he probably potentially took all of these people's like food from their mouth. That's pretty much what he did. Like, you have developers that are broke right now, and they were waiting to get paid, and no, they got nothing. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow, he truly does not care about anyone but himself. My God.
Okay, because they had a secured position against his house on the money that he originally borrowed for the company, which I should have done, thought about it. I never did.
So
anyway,
right.
That brings you to full circle. So
Right.
then I get a phone call being told that excuse me. I get a phone call being told that Steven resigned, okay, and that Commerce Bank sent a letter, and then I had to send my attorney's letter saying, no, that's not his money, it's my money. I have UCC filings and pledge and security agreements that were posted way ahead of Commerce Bank's, which I can document and give to you. I think I don't know if I sent it to you or didn't, but I can send that to you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
feel free to send everything.
That being said, that is the reason why we didn't have money to pay payroll, okay? Because Steven, that motherfucker, literally sat there and had Commerce Bank contact Steam. Well, that was the money for our payroll. So literally,
So he did it to spite you guys, basically. He didn't even get the money.
1,000%.
Wow.
He did it to fuck everyone over. Which will come out in my lawsuit.
Dude,
I'm gonna
that's
put all this down, and I don't care
crazy. He said, if I'm not part of it, then I'm gonna burn it to the ground. He scorched earth, this bitch. That is insane. What the hell? I did not expect to hear this. I did not expect this. This is actually nuts. He didn't even take the money. He didn't even get any of it. It was just out of spite. That's all. Wow. What a lame tier behavior. Holy.
He even listens to this. If he hears it, he can go fucking rot in fucking hell.
He's probably listening.
I don't give a fuck.
He most likely is listening.
He can go fuck himself with some nasty things up his rear end,
God
because
damn.
that's what he's done to everybody else.
Okay,
They
so
always
just
return
to
to the
clarify
scene
and
of the
recap the
crime.
whole thing, Robert put the foot down. All the investors put their foot down. They said, okay, this is not sustainable. They proposed a 60 to 70% layoff. And then Steven wanted to keep his equity, even though he'd never bought equity. And then when they told him no, he said, all right, I'm going to resign. And as he did so, he contacted the bank to seize the Steam funding, which was meant for
He
payroll.
screwed everyone over.
Now, he did claim in his announcement post that other senior staff resigned as well.
As
Is that
broadcast,
true,
yeah.
or is that just...
Everyone resigned. Steven, look.
Everyone resigned?
I hope some of the people that work for the company, because they've never fucking ever spoken to me, and they don't know the fucking truth. They should all go fucking watch your fucking video, because then they'll realize that Steven's been lying to them the whole time. They all think Steven's made of money. Oh, like
They don't know.
They all probably thought every single dime that came into the company was Steven's. Look at it from a realistic standpoint. It's like, and Steven's convinced all these people that it's Rob's fault, or I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I went along with whatever Rob wanted to do, and this was the decision that Rob and Aaron and a gal named Teresa made. Okay, and I don't know if Aaron and Teresa were on the board, but I do know that they had a meeting and had a board meeting, and pretty much these were the decisions that they decided to make. So
Sure.
at this time, it's like I have some things that Rob and I have talked about it. We're going to talk again. I think he's in like it's like. Steven literally did such a bad, just horrible, exit. I mean, he didn't even care about saving the company. He just wanted to save his own ass. Like, I want the Commerce Bank loan to be paid off, so pretty much I can get the money off of my house.
I see.
It's like,
And that's after you helped them prevent foreclosure on the house.
Yeah, his house was going into foreclosure a year ago. I'll send you those emails too.
Okay.
The trust deed and all the documents. I mean, I got all this shit. So anyone wants to see anything, they email you or connect with you and tell me what they want to see.
All right.
I'm an open book. I got nothing to hide.
All right.
Might not like what I do for a living, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad guy. I mean, I'm not selling drugs to kids. I'm not fucking, doing any bad shit. Steven's a horrible human being. He's just bad. So I don't know. I hope I've helped out. Are there any other last questions? I mean, I could go on for 12 hours about what a piece of shit he is, but does anyone have any other specifics that I haven't answered?
I think just the majority of people want to know what's going to happen to the game.
We don't know, but I mean, look, Jasper, you have my phone number.
Bro, what game? It's also bare bones. There's nothing to save. All the assets inside of the game are technically just Unreal Engine 5 assets that can be easily duplicated. Like, nobody cares. Or replicated, because duplicated means that you actually take the thing inside of the game. Never mind, it can easily be rebuilt. Like, that's pretty much it.
I don't want my phone number going out in the public domain.
The game was so bare bones, one guy can do it in a
anybody
month.
that you really like that needs to talk to me, Like, if any of the employees reach out to you, we'll get on the phone. I'll talk to them. I've never spoken to one in 8 years. I don't have one employee's phone number. I've been paying all their bills. They don't know who I am.
Right, because you were funding the payroll from what,
I've been funding the company for
2018, 2021. Yeah.
And then Rob literally took over from 2022 onward.
Right.
All 22, all 23, all 24, and all 25. It was 100% Rob Dawson and his crew. 100%. I mean, $2 million of my money. Okay, so yeah, that came in. So there you go.
Well, I think that's so when you said resigned, the senior staff that resigned with him, were they just laid off, or did they actually know about the board meeting and all that? Was anyone at the?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay, so you're not aware that anyone at the actual company itself was aware of what was going on?
No, I don't know what the employees at whatever levels knew. I mean, Steven had his own agenda, so.
Right.
Hey, Casper, hold on one second.
Good.
Hold on one second, guys.
Are there any other last questions you guys want to ask him before we let him go, or? I mean, he's like for 12 hours. I'm just like,
It's nuts.
I don't know, 12 hours. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So, what else can I do to help you, my friend?
Honestly, I think people want to know. I think a lot of people sympathize with you. Some didn't.
That's okay.
And they just want to know if you're okay, or how you're doing now financially.
If someone doesn't sympathize with me, has anyone said any shit about me? I'd like to know. I mean, they chatting about me like this motherfucker. I mean, I know people write shit. They're like, yeah, this stupid motherfucker. I mean, it's like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, some of that because I mean, you took money from your 401k to help Steven, and that's a very nice that's a very nice thing to do, but also, you know, the risk, right? Yeah. So
I mean, you read the whole.
Yes, I read the whole thing.
I mean, so you know, you put all of it up there. But you read the whole thing. It's like, you know, and I love how you. I don't know what love bombing is, but okay.
It's like when someone just overwhelms you with positive comments and praise and says, "Jason, you're my god, Jason."
Yeah,
he kept telling.
That's when he's trying to suck my dick and get money out of it.
Bruh. This guy.
Right. So he was doing that to you a lot in the text messages.
Yeah, 100%.
He's funny. You gotta give it to him.
Time that he needed, and then it got overwhelming. So
even though he's kind of, you know,
I made a lot of mistakes.
A little bit of a cuckoo.
Someone asked, do you still have your 2011 Ferrari and 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost?
No, the 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost was actually Kim Kardashian's car.
Okay.
What?
That I bought used from her in 2014.
Okay.
And that blew up in my house on a fire. And I have a video. I can send that to you. I came back from the gym and the car just caught on fire. And I was running up and down like Benny Hill trying to put out a fire in my car, and then the engines came. So that car got totaled. And then the 2011 Ferrari, I bought a warranty from Ferrari dealership, and they did not fix the problem, and they wanted to charge me $30,000, and I said no. And then I sent them legal letters and notices that I'm going to sue them, and I said, here are your options. And my lawyer contacted them, and they came and picked up the car and paid me for the value of the car. And that was, I think, in 2017 or 18. So no, I don't have either one of those cars.
Okay, I think we just have two more questions and we can let you go. I know you're a little busy and taking care of some real life errands.
I'll stay on the phone all night answering questions.
I mean,
he doesn't care, man.
Cathartic. If
he's letting it rip.
This is a healing thing for me because I've been a silent person watching all this stuff online.
Okay,
it's therapeutic.
True, so that's why I'm willing to stay here and talk.
All right, sure. I guess that's three questions then, because someone asked, I guess, why didn't you put your foot down with him?
We did many times. He came to my house.
But he just kept deflecting, and
he's a deflector. He's lying. He's a liar, bro.
Sure.
I mean, yeah. The guy came to my house 4 different times. I've been to his house 2 or 3 times in San Diego, and I live up in Woodland Hills. So pretty much, I mean, I had a meeting with him and Rob. Oh, I'll send you emails, and you'll be shocked.
Okay.
What the emails say? They'd be like, look, we need this. We need proper.
I'm already shocked.
We need proper filings, proper tax returns. We need this. We need this.
Sure.
I've never seen a company tax return since I've been in the company. As a shareholder, okay, and a creditor, not one time. Never seen a tax return. For anyone listening, you ever invest in anybody's shit, okay, you have rights as an investor in their business, and you have rights to see tax returns, books and records, and bank statements. Okay, that's your right. Did I ever see any of that? No, I did not.
Okay.
Well, you should have put your foot down.
What do you think
further.
Jason's
response
is going to be after all this? Do you think he's
after
going to defend
all
himself,
of
or
this
how
lying?
You mean Steven's response?
Yeah, Steven. Like, what do you think he's going to do? What's his next move? I guess. What's your prediction?
Run away from the country.
Everything I've said is factual. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? I mean, like, okay, I don't like the way he cusses and says fuck and does. Like, who cares? Like, you know, it's like I don't really know. The F word is an adjective. Go look up on YouTube the word fuck. You'll find a whole list of noun, verb, adjective. Okay, so what you
He
gonna
ain't
say?
wrong.
You know, Stephen.
Someone's
Okay, so I don't care. I don't care what he does. What are you gonna sue me for? Slander, libel, calling you a piece of shit? Okay, go ahead. Like I really care. You know, like go ahead. Bring it on, Stephen. I'm good.
Okay.
So I don't care what Steve.
Yeah,
does.
he's
I
unafraid.
just want to set the record straight.
That's what
for all
makes
the
it
people
seem
that
like he
believe
has all
this
the receipts,
bullshit
like every
internet
single
story,
one of them.
whatever the fuck he would post. I put 30 million, 50 million, 60 million, $100 million of my own money into this company. But
Okay.
none of that is accurate.
Right.
So not only did he defraud his investors, he defrauded the entire community.
Right.
The entire community.
The community is now asking, what are your future plans to recoup funds? How do you plan to sell the project?
Yeah, I don't have. I told you.
Right.
Casper, I'm going to keep you in. I have no idea.
Yeah, you keep me in the loop. You keep me in the loop. Okay.
100%.
All right.
Rob's in charge of that. There's some ideas. There's some people that used to be. There's some people that through one of my associates, I introduced to Rob Dawson at a dinner in Beverly Hills a week and a half ago. I'm not going to. I'll tell you privately, Casper. But
Sure.
The person was with one of the biggest companies in the industry for 11 years,
Okay.
and has his own IPs and his own desires, and so but but I don't know if that'll be just the tech or if that'll be for Ashes. As far as Ashes goes, Rob's been looking at options. The problem is when you literally don't have any technical experience,
right?
And you're sitting there where Steven has poisoned the entire staff against the board,
right?
Which is such a fucking cockroach fucking thing, because the board literally has only been a board recently. Okay, what happened to the board that Steven should have had 8 or 9 years ago?
Right.
It doesn't exist. So, you know, I don't know. And really at this point in time, there's no board. It's Rob Dawson and his decisions of what he's going to do in the future. He's the guy that put in $80 million, okay, of his own resources.
Okay.
So, you know, not someone else's money. Rob didn't borrow money from someone else. That's Rob's own personal money.
Most likely will never see it again.
Did Steven's mom ever contact you after all this, or because you seem like friends?
Contact and text.
Okay.
You want me to read what I wrote her? Yeah.
Sure.
That'll light this call up.
Imagine if it just went on a profanity stream.
You know what? My other battery in my other phone. Let me see if it's. I might have gone dead. So,
sure.
But
that may be a good thing.
I'll send you that. You can do a follow up. I think I can find it. But
sure.
One can only imagine what he sent her.
I said, you know, one of her sons is in a mental institution. Okay. The other son's a very smart guy. His name's Tim.
That's the nutrition guy, right? 310. Yeah.
Tim hates basically his brother. So you know that's a whole.
The brother in the mental institution, or the brother?
No, hates Steven Sharif.
Oh. Okay, we got the impression that Steven handed off Ashes of Creation merchandise to his brother to sell.
You can make a whole TV show on them alone.
His brother's company is the one selling Ashes of Creation merchandise next to this.
I don't know.
On Amazon.
So this is on Monday, February 2nd.
Okay.
This is the Sharon. Your son has destroyed the business, and you have no idea what's coming soon. All of you lying piece of shit. Okay. Son, hope you. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses.
You're good.
Hope you both rot in hell for destroying
we get a rough
lives.
estimate here.
Okay,
that's fine.
Okay, just a pathological narcissistic personality disorder, worse than Mark, your other son. Is it your DNA in your sons? Okay, or your ex-husbands that create these kind of human beings that lie, cheat, steal, and make everyone believe they are honest? Okay,
he went biological.
My life and Tom and Bethany's life and so many other people's.
Okay, that's
he's a narcissist. He should be locked up like Mark in an asylum. Such a liar, cheat, thief.
Damn.
I can't believe this is scumbag of your DNA. Wish you never given birth to such a human scum. You have given birth to the worst of your three children. It is not Mark, that's the devil, and has issues. It's your son Steven that destroyed everyone's lives. You should have had an abortion. She goes,
what
it's
the
a shame.
Yo.
Right. Yeah, it's a shame on you.
Dude, that's a bit too much. I'm not gonna lie. I get he's mad, but holy.
Okay.
Yeah, even like this. Yeah, by the way, the reason he's so embarrassed about this because you literally cannot say this on Twitch. Like, you literally can't. He went off, like, holy, I did not expect this.
Okay, well, that was a lot from you, but not a lot from her.
If you can tell that I'm heated up and I'm pissed.
Yes, I can tell.
Steven just fucked up and railroaded the entire fucking company.
Yes.
So,
and now he went nuclear.
You're hilarious, Jason. Okay, we'll keep it going. Hold on. There's a lot of people here now, so I'm gonna look through the questions.
Yeah. Let's see. Toggle through them. Oh Jesus, that was a nasty voice crack. It's so crazy. this entire situation
All right.
unfolded.
Someone asked, were you hoping to play the MMO as well, Jason?
No, he doesn't
Of course.
care.
I mean, I wanted to see it go. I mean, am I an MMO guy? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna lie about that.
No, of course.
Have I ever played an MMO? No.
No.
I mean, I had a bunch of friends. You know, you saw it in the text. I had a bunch of friends, children and kids that wanted to have access and early access to it, and I hooked them up. And Steven sent me some swag, and you know, and I got them some early access. I don't know if they played or not.
Sure.
I've never played the game, to be quite honest. I've watched probably about, I don't know, close to about 300 to 400 hours worth of YouTube videos, including all of yours.
Fair enough.
You know, so I
you
watched
did
all the
research.
players
I respect that.
and that's how I would, you know, I would learn about my investment as I would go onto YouTube, and I would just watch all the gamers talk about it. And,
Right.
and I've watched all of Narc's videos. And he came out early and said there's a piece of shit, which I agree.
Narc
And,
mentioned.
you know, and
So you've kept up on the
Finally,
YouTube side.
man, even this based Giga Chat is just vindicating Narc. He's exonerating him. He knows that Narc was right, and he knew it before everyone else. Damn, I kind of wish he said something earlier. I understand that they wanted to keep things under wraps because they didn't want Steven to just completely scorch earth this company, but we ended up doing it anyway, so I just wish they'd done it earlier. So at least we can add all of this sold by now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Golden, Narc, and you know, and you. And
What do you think about Lazy Peon? I'm still waiting for his video.
I'm a geeky guy at home, and I sit
Right.
there and, you know, and I just watch other people's talk about stuff. Is how I kind of just chill and watch stuff for 2-3. You know, for a while I was watching probably an hour of stuff a day, and then, you know, and then it kind of, you know, recently I've watched a lot more because of all the rhetoric
Right.
and everything going on.
I mean, was it infuriating to kind of sit through all those videos and listen to everyone?
What's been infuriating is like just watching how someone could be so inauthentic on so many different levels to so many different people. I mean, why couldn't you just be honest and tell people, hey, you know what? You know, why couldn't you just say, hey, I'm a gamer with a vision? I mean, why
Right.
couldn't, and why couldn't you just
Exactly.
tell people, you know, from an honest
Finally.
position that, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm the creative director. I have 100% control of the company. I've taken on some partners because, you know, I needed to raise money. I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
Why didn't you do that from day one?
Exactly.
Dude, I literally said this exact thing. Like, why wouldn't you be honest? Like, why did you go with the route of I'm a billionaire gamer and I found everything, right? Like, I funded everything, sorry. And like, why did you lie about all of that? If you said, hey, I have a couple of friends that are investing their money and they're online with me, like, it's okay, we're close together and we're gonna build this game. Many people wouldn't care. Like, many people wouldn't care, but no, you try to paint yourself as the sole hero of the MMO industry. And look what that gotten you. Absolutely nothing, except for what's about to come ahead. And yeah, I think it's going to be jail time.
Exactly.
That is what pisses me off, because, you know, and then the story that he tells everyone, but it's not just all the gamers.
Right.
It's the over 100, 200 employees that he had.
Right.
They all bought it too. They all believe that he's the Pied Piper.
Like I said this exact thing. People were so mad at the developers, and I told them, like, hey, they most likely had nothing to do with this. No way there are 250 people in cahoots with Steven. That's impossible. Like, even if 90% of them weren't in on it, that's so many people. Like, even, I mean, it's such a huge number, right? It's impossible. Like, that's impossible. So now we know that, and my heart goes to them because they just lost their jobs and they're not even gonna get any severance whatsoever because Steven apparently screwed that up as well.
Do you have any opinions on the actual gameplay of the game?
Okay, I don't want to say anything about the gameplay because
he doesn't know anything.
No, that would be like me talking about something
Fair.
You know, it's like, yeah, it's like. It's like,
to be fair, there's nothing to say. There's literally
if you
nothing
want to talk
say.
about multi-level marketing, which no one on this call wants to hear or talk about,
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I can tell you about that. Which, you know, I'm an expert in that field because I've built many companies all over the world. I've traveled to, you know, Asia probably, you know,
Sure.
over 600-700 times. Like I told you before, I had offices in
Right.
Seoul and Busan and a couple other places. So, you know, I've been all over the place.
And now you have different investments, different businesses.
Yes.
Yep.
Different avenues and revenues. He did it.
He already answered that. I'm just looking at a lot of questions, the same questions now at this point. You know, why didn't the board come on? Why didn't they force Steven early? I mean, because Steven kept begging Jason and the other investors, guys, not to basically, in his perspective, derail the company or make things public to where the company might be affected adversely.
Steven was worried about affecting what I would call anyone knowing the reality of the truth behind the curtain. It's like, okay, we
Yes.
you pull the curtain back and you go, oh, he's not, there's no Wizard of Oz. It's all bullshit. Just a guy. Okay. So that why any of us, and there really was no force. I mean, literally all this stuff happened by us forcing him. Like Rob had to force him. Okay. Otherwise, Rob would have to say, Steven, I'm not sending you any money unless you sign this contract. Steven, I'm not sending any money unless you agree to this. Steven, I'm not sending any money. It literally became that type of a relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just kept going.
It kept going and getting worse and worse. And
because
then
he knew he was dependent on ego and power.
From Rob's perspective, relatively speaking, you know, you get to a point financially where you just can't take it anymore.
Sure.
I mean, I don't care who you are. You know, most people can't comprehend. Okay, let's look at it from this standpoint. I'm not saying anything negative about anyone that's listening now. I don't know anybody's financial situation. I don't have Rob's money.
Right.
Anybody that has $90 million of money, they had to make at least, okay, $150 million in gross net income to pay the government their share. So you have after-tax dollars. It's
so they had no chance.
After-tax dollars that Rob put into this thing. So I feel bad for him. He's the most important person I feel bad for.
I see.
When we were at dinner in Beverly Hills, you know, at a nice hotel, you know, where Rob was staying at, the Beverly Hills, you know, and the Polo Lounge. I just started bawling my eyes out in front of my wife, in front of my child that was there, in front of his wife and a couple other people, just because I felt so bad for what has happened. And I had nothing to do with it. It's all fucking, it's a narcissist dude that's all over the internet telling people that he put in 30, 40, I don't know what he said. I mean, I know it's millions and millions of dollars that he's claimed that he put into the company. And
but if you can prove him wrong on that and you have all the receipts, like he's done, right? I mean, I'm saying it so many times. It just seems like they got Steven at any possible corner. There's nowhere to escape. There's nowhere to hide. He can't roach out of this. Like, he's done. What he can do except escaping the country. And that's it. And even with that, can't you prosecute, like, people who were in ties with him for, like, family members and stuff? I'm not really sure. It all sounds so slimy. Again, I'm not a huge expert on the legalities of this entire situation, but it sounds like he has nowhere to go. Like, he can't do anything.
It's true. None of that exists.
Sure.
They're probably going to get a restraining order
a lot of people
soon.
are picking up on Steven's kind of comments towards his Chinese partners because, you know, iDream Sky, you remember that. And how did you feel about Steven just bad-mouthing the Chinese?
Well, I mean, look, I've done events where I've spoken on stage.
Sure.
Google that, where I'm speaking in front of 20,000 people, and they're all Chinese. So,
right.
I think that, you know, was he venting? Yes. Do I think he's racist? No,
What?
no. I think he's a greedy piece of fucking
I don't
shit.
know what they're talking
And
about.
a narcissist. But I just think he was pissed off and, you know, whatever happened. Now, if I
haven't
seen
heard
an
about
iDream
that.
Sky contract or a 10-cent contract.
Yeah, he sent you pictures,
He sent me
right?
pictures of
Yeah, okay, let's fast forward a bit.
they put a plan together, and then they told me, well, and I got a legal notice from Rob's lawyers about, you know, what's going to happen, and it was basically a foreclosure notice that Rob's foreclosing on the assets. Okay.
Yeah, okay. He's saying the same things over and over now. I think we kind of ran out of question. I'm gonna call it. It's just too long. Jesus, that voice crack. It's just way too long. You're starting to repeat the question.
Like a Slack.
Yeah, it's a Slack. It's a Slack, but for gamers.
It's like a Slack. Okay.
And the more casual, non-office usage. So it's a Slack basically, and there were over 200,000 people in the Discord server. Now I think there's about 170, 180,000, and a lot of people keep, you know, pinging him, asking where he is or what happened, and he's not really budging because he keeps saying there's legal issues, there's court filings, the truth will come out. But he said that last week, and nothing's come out except what you shared. I think you really did the community a service in terms of, no matter what, really, what anyone thinks of your ventures. I think you really did the community a service because no one knew anything. It was everybody was in the dark. All we could do was look at what public information was available from last year to now, and just kind of speculate.
Yeah.
So he's still in that server. He actually timed me out last week after I posted the last video about him moderating that server.
Really?
He's just he's not a good human being, man. Just you know, I can't. I mean, my venom towards him is so beyond. I mean, you have no idea because it's like I need that money back. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's $10-12 million you need back.
So much money.
I'm an older father. I just had a 4-month-old baby. I have a younger wife, and you know, and she's seeing me stressed out. You know,
listen, I want to respect that guy so much, but every single time he speaks about himself, I'm like, oh yeah, he's one of those guys. It's just, you know what? At least he's based. We can give him that.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
Include
Okay, it seems to be pretty much the end.
You know,
I'm just gonna skip ahead.
Bullshit.
I'm going to sleep here.
Yeah, and it said lose my fucking number. Like, another douchey move for him to just attract. So
yep.
You want pull this.
Like Steven essentially did not want to lose equity or control the company, even though he had 4% or so equity. The board put their foot down because the board, I think, was not even a week old. They finally
yeah, they're repeating the same stuff over and over again. Let's see if there's one more question. That's it.
Filing a lawsuit is I have to get information. So the problem for me is okay. So I have to go through and I have to create when it happened, why it happened, what the situation was, and I have to put that all down. You've helped me a little bit because actually sent your
timeline.
Timeline. I have to put the whole timelines together.
Yeah.
The lies, when I found out about it, the fraud, all this stuff.
You might have to add more numbers to it too, just in case.
Yeah, probably.
100%. I guess this is my personal question, and you may not know this because Robert is dealing with all this for the most part, which is I would love to talk to him if you can set that up. But do you have any plans for the employees or the former employees, the developers?
We don't know.
We don't know.
The problem is that Steven
messed
has done
everything
such a
up.
hatchet job.
Yeah.
Against the guys that gave him $100 million fucking dollars, okay, and he does a hatchet job to him. Why would you do that, bro?
Great.
I mean, you know,
because he's a man baby on a power trip. That's it. That's why. He doesn't care. He never cared about Intrepid. He never cared about his employees. All he cared about was himself and the way people perceive him to be like, which is the God King Savior of the MMO genre. And now that entire table flipped on him, and I bet he's so pissed. I bet he's sulking right now because he's seeing more and more stuff that piled up against him being revealed in the light. And he's like, it's like a Diablo demon. He's like, no. He's like burning in the white. He's like a vampire. You know what? And this guy's the garlic. 100%. Like, he got the sauce. So it's crazy. But yeah, it seems to be the end of the video. They're kind of repeating themselves over and over again. I don't want to get through it. Let's just watch the end here.
Oh, damn it.
Maybe here's something interesting.
Okay,
no, she just yells at him.
Can't
Classic.
be.
Yeah, it seems to be the end. I'm definitely going to call it. Jesus, that was so long. I didn't want to see it through like 30 more minutes of it. Enough's enough. They were just kind of repeating themselves toward the end there. Insanely good video, though. Insanely good video. We finally got insight into so many unanswered questions that we had. It's insane, bro. And there's some things that obviously they can't talk about because of the legal stuff. But now that they're suing him, I really hope it would amount to something. I really hope Steven would get his comeuppance and serve some jail time because he played with so many people's lives. It's so disgusting. You just decide to scorch earth everyone because you wanted to look like a savior. Like, brother, there are people with families out there that worked for years at your company. And this is what you do to them? This guy called it a hatchet job. Brother, this wasn't a hatchet. It was a goddamn hammer. It was so crazy. I mean, it's just so sad to see, man. It's just so sad. I'm just pissed about all of this. But at the same time, I really hope and I pray to God the government would actually be able to prosecute him. Well, not the government, I guess, because they're just suing him. But I really hope there isn't a loophole he can use to escape. I truly think they got him at every single corner. And I can't really see him getting out of it. I can't. I just literally can't. At least not legally. I mean, that's not how I see it. But maybe you guys think otherwise. Regardless, make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. It was one hell of a ride. It was so funny. The guy that spoke was so based. I mean, he just went on Steven for ages. That's crazy. I don't think he likes him much, but you know what? That's understandable. Maybe this Rob guy would come out and speak. And I think he has way more information because clearly he was way more involved inside of Intrepid Studios. So if we hear from him, yeah, that's gonna be insane. But for now, I guess this video would have to do. It was a good one though. We got so much information.